You may have lost a lot of physical things, but so long as you are alive, you haven't lost everything. When the battle chooses you, God fights for you. He's with you, and He will show Himself mighty. People may strip you of what you have, but so long as they have not stripped you of your life, there is still hope for you. You may have lost a lot of physical things, but so long as you are alive, you haven't lost everything. When the battle chooses you, God fights for you. He's with you, and He will show Himself mighty. People may strip you of what you have, but so long as they have not stripped you of your life, there is still hope for you. You may have lost a lot of physical things, but so long as you are alive, you haven't lost everything. When the battle chooses you, God fights for you. He's with you, and He will show Himself mighty. People may strip you of what you have, but so long as they have not stripped you of your life, there is still hope for you. You may have lost a lot of physical things, but so long as you are alive, you haven't lost everything. When the battle chooses you, God fights for you. He's with you, and He will show Himself mighty. People may strip you of what you have, but so long as they have not stripped you of your life, there is still hope for you. You may have lost a lot of physical things, but so long as you are alive, you haven't lost everything. When the battle chooses you, God fights for you. He's with you, and He will show Himself mighty. People may strip you of what you have, but so long as they have not stripped you of your life, there is still hope for you. You may have lost a lot of physical things, but so long as you are alive, you haven't lost everything. When the battle chooses you, God fights for you. He's with you, and He will show Himself mighty. People may strip you of what you have, but so long as they have not stripped you of your life, there is still hope for you. You may have lost a lot of physical things, but so long as you are alive, you haven't lost everything. When the battle chooses you, God fights for you. He's with you, and He will show Himself mighty. People may strip you of what you have, but so long as they have not stripped you of your life, there is still hope for you. Hello and good evening again from the Hope Studios with your ambassador of hope. Another Tuesday, another episode. In fact, episode number 118. Can you imagine? 118 episodes, learning together, becoming better together, taking action together. Bless God. Thank you for joining me tonight. And I trust that we're going to have a wonderful time shaping your future. Shaping your future. I hope your week has been good. Listen, no matter what it is, so long as there's a heartbeat in your chest, breath in your nostrils, there's still hope for you. Never forget that. Every day above the ground is a good day. And I tell you, your God is in a good mood. We're going to learn together. It's going to be amazing. Listen, before we get into things, there are a couple of things that I want to talk about. Number one, we've been talking about the various mentoring classes that I'm going to start this January. 2 tracks of mentoring class. I'm going to put the flyer out there for you. Number one is for emerging leaders. For emerging leaders. I'm going to have about 6 weeks, minimum 6 weeks with you. Mondays, we're going to do them on Mondays, 6 weeks for 2 hours in the evening. And I'm going to pour my life into you. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody. Somebody knows what you don't know. Somebody has been where you haven't been yet. Somebody have seen what you haven't seen yet. You need a shoulder to cry on. You need an eye to guide you. You know, and so I want to be that for you. You know, many years ago, somebody said something very powerful. He said that and I've been in several seminaries, and said that about 80% of things that people go to seminaries to study, they are unusable when they come out to become pastors and leaders. And so I said to myself, then I'll zero in on the 20 that is relevant. And that is what I want to do with your life. Because there are many things that seminary wouldn't teach you, Bible school wouldn't teach you. I want to go those lines and I want to help you. And this is the deal. If you want to register, in fact, I'm going to cut the deadline. I've seen a whole lot of people. I don't want a very large class. I want a class that I can manage, where we can talk, we can deal. It's going to be on Zoom. And so maybe next week or so is going to be a deadline. What you have to do is to download our app. Go to Apple Store or Google Play Store and download the app Advanced Life app. And then when you go there, you find the flyer, you click the register, and then you go and register. Every information is out there for you. Do that, and it's going to be a blast. Then there's another track. In fact, the Emerging Leaders Mentorship is for people who are coming up, emerging, associate pastors, young people, or for that matter, anybody who wants to better their lives. Business person, student, anybody. I'm going to do that. It's not going to be your regular Bible school, John chapter 1, verse 1, Psalm 1, But these are all going to happen, but I want to vary it. I want to make it a hybrid so everybody can benefit. Then number 2, I'm going to do a master class. This master class is for senior pastors, is for founders, is for apostles, prophets, CS, alhajis, whatever you are. If you stand on your own. Somebody asked me the other day what about if you are, let's say, a branch pastor? So long as you are the main pastor of that branch or whatever, you can join. Business person, you can join us. Politicians, you can join us. Whatever it is, it's also going to be a hybrid. I'm going to use biblical principles. Most of the leadership principles we learn, they come from that book. You know that the ultimate leader is God. And all the principles are in there. It's only that we managed to take out all the religious connotations and do that. So do that. This one, the registration is a little bit different. Send me an email. Send me an email indicating your intention to be on my master class, my master class, leadership master class. And that email must be sent to the address that is on your screen right now. leader@advancedlife.org. Note it. leader@advancedlife.org. For the last time, leader@advancedlife.org. Send me an email. I have a few people who have registered. In fact, not a few, a lot of people have registered. I'm going to have a cutoff so that we can have a blast. So don't forget, it's going to be amazing. Welcome again to this. I'll talk about it again before we go. Listen, I want you to share to as many people as possible. Let them know that the ambassador of hope is right here. We are into business right now. I want to thank you, all of you. Sheila, my daughter Mimi, God bless you. Kadeshie George from Delaware, good evening to you, son. And my own bishop, Eddie Akuban, God bless you. The Honorable Nananimo is in the house. And Mela, Paul, Ella, God bless you. Adelaide Techimensa, good evening to you. My daughter, Emma Ishra, God bless you so much. Alfred Akosa, Prachum Brimpo is in the house. Nakole, I hope you are doing very well this evening. My billionaire, Mark Pessima, let me tell you, it is not over until God Almighty says it's over. Julia, giving me all the glory, Philip. Good evening to you. Listen, let's roll. Let me see my YouTube crowd. Listen, we are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube. Never forget. Oh, so many of you out here on YouTube. God richly bless you. Adam Repa, Natasha, good evening to you. I hope you and your mama are doing well. Hey, Daniel Pencil, God bless. Hey, BMK says, share, please share. Mami Akwa, good evening to you. I hope you are doing very well. Nanesi, how is the baby? I hope you are all doing well. Nicholas, God richly bless you. Adam, God richly bless you. All of you, my billionaire. Daniel the Eagle, God bless you. Akwesi the billionaire, God bless you. Yes, Kwesi is asking, the billionaire is asking that, Papa, can I register for somebody as my Christmas present? Yes. Listen, I said it that because of the registration fee, I am not going to do it for free. And the truth is that the registration, none, not zilch, zero, is coming to me to use on anything. It's going directly into missions. I'm taking them into missions. We are doing a leadership institute. I'm doing all of these things. We are helping people. I'm going from place to place. And many of it, I foot the bills myself. I do that. I don't like to talk about this, but that is my seed that I sow for my future. So listen, if you are in these parts of the world and you know somebody in the other part of the world who may not be as advantaged as you, please register for them. So I don't know, Kwesi, if you have somebody specific. Other than that, the first person that sends me a message on that, and I am in a good mood, I'll connect so that you can register. And for everybody, if you want to register somebody, please do that. It's only $200. It's only $200. It's only $200. Register somebody. Do something in somebody's life. You never know what is going to happen. You know, in this life, your good is never done in vain. Whatever good you do, you never do it in vain. God richly bless you again. And so we are going down. Listen, you know, today is December something. It's December 12, 13, something. What is today? December something. December something. December the 12th. Today is December the 12th. In a few weeks, about 3 weeks or so, the year will come to an end. The year is going to close. And once it closes, it gives birth to another. If you've looked over your life, you may agree with me that yours has been open, close, open, close, open, close, and it's become a rote. And maybe sometimes like a hamster on a treadmill, you keep going. You are making movement, but you are not making progress. There's a difference between progress and movement. A hamster on a treadmill goes, they are always in movement, but there's no progress because they are on the same place. Could it be that as you listen to me, you look into your life critically, and you can agree with me that, listen, my life is a lot of motion, a lot of movement, but there's no progress. Progress means that you have something tangible to show for, something productive. You know that you were here, but now you are here and a better person. You know, during this season, as we went down the year, you know, there's all kinds of pressures. Buy now, pay later, going out of business sale, half price, all these, the festivities, you know, people by their millions are traveling to be with family. That is beautiful. Take me with you next time. And the people are going to have enjoyment, the parties, the end of year parties, which is beautiful. I'm all out for that. You've worked hard, play hard. It's very good. But I also know that going to this time is also a time for sober reflection. People reflect a lot. And hopefully, you also anticipate and plan for a better and a more productive year. It's very, very important that you understand that. I want to step into the space that you allow me these couple of weeks or couple of episodes to help you shape your future. You heard me. Shape your future. Sometimes we have this religious platitudes. Oh, everything is in God's hands. The things that are happening to you, the wrong things that you are doing, the bad habits and things are not in God's hands. Not everything is in God's hands. There are things that He has left in your hands. Never forget that the Bible says that the heavens belong to the Lord, but the earth has He given to the children of men. So there's a part that you and I play towards our progress and our success. Remember, He said to Joshua that this book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night and observe to do all that is written therein. And when you do that, you make your way prosperous and you have good success. Never forget that. He says you have to observe. Many times we omit that. And so we pray and pray and pray. And when we finish, we sit down, we fold our arms and expecting even manna. Listen, God did not put manna into their mouth. In the children of Israel, He put them within their reach. They needed to get out to do something. So I want to help you. You can help. You can align with God. You can cooperate with God and shape your future. I want you to be serious. I want you to be determined that the new that you have known shall not be like old. The old. Let me put something there on the screen for you. Because sometimes, we know, oh, we are waiting for 31st December. We get very excited when the clock strikes 12. We all say, hey, the year of this, we are saying blah, 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 blah. And then before long, you realize that nothing truly changed. So let me say this. Please screenshot it, write it down. Your life will not change just because the calendar changed. Your life will not change just because the calendar changed. Never forget that. The fact that we turn from December 31st to January 1st is no guarantee that your life is going to, in fact, it's going to be the same. Because hear me, if where you are going to looks like where you are coming from, you are going around in circles. I'll repeat. This is a serious episode. If where you are going to looks like where you are coming from, you are going around in circles. Never forget that. Your life will change because you changed and you made changes of excellence. That is why I'm going to recommend this book to you. It's a small book of just about some 55 pages or 56 pages. New Year, New You. We talk about Happy New Year. But Happy New Year, we say it only on January 1st. But you have to have a Happy New You before you have a Happy New Year. and I'll talk to you about that. But listen, life won't change because a calendar changed. Life changed because you made changes. You put some things in you. And listen, I'm talking about shaping your future, shaping the future. You ask me, Ambassador, what do you say that? Listen, I want you to be very concerned about your future for one reason, and it is because you are going to live there. Never forget, today is the future you spoke about yesterday. And tomorrow will be the future you are going to shape today. Never forget. Today is the future you talked about yesterday. And tomorrow will be the future you are going to deal with today. So every day, your future is not even ahead of you. Your future is resident on the inside of you. I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to rush. I want you to get it. I really want you to get it. Listen, your future is going to be determined by the things you are willing to say yes to and the things you are willing to say no to. These are the things that will shape your future. You cannot say yes to everything. You cannot say yes to everybody, and I'll come back to that. You cannot say yes to even your body wanting to sleep over time. No, when you are not tired. If you rest before you are tired, you are lazy. Please never forget that. The future belongs to the awakened. Please don't walk through life. Don't sleepwalk through life. Don't wish yourself through life. You know, sometimes we take some scriptures and we quote them without context. You know, sometimes we say, oh, but the Bible says, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health. Did you hear yourself? It's only a wish. It's only a wish. And if wishes were horses, beggars will ride. It's only a wish. Oh, we quote, oh, for I know the thoughts. You know, Jeremiah 29:11. I know the thoughts that I have for you. They are thoughts of good. They are thoughts. They are thoughts. Just thoughts. And thoughts without action remain in your head. Never forget that. I want to bother you tonight. This episode is not for people who are looking for a quick fix. Please, if that is it, save your data. I beg you. Hear me. There is a part that you and I have to do. You can't just sleepwalk through life and expect success to come your way. You can't just float. Life is not a bed of roses. You know, there's something that you have to do. Don't sleepwalk. The future belongs to those who are awakened. The future belongs to those who are awakened. And there is a part that you must determine to play in order to shape your future. Are you ready for that? The great war leader of the United Kingdom in the 1940s, I think he became leader of Great Britain or the United Kingdom in 1940 when the Germans were bombarding Europe, the Luftwaffe. You know, they were bombarding everything. And Winston Churchill says something. You know, he's a man with a checkered history. He failed many times. He won many times. A man of many dimensions. And he said something. He said, history will be kind to me. You know why? He said, because I intend to write it. History will be kind to me because I intend to write it. And please listen, it wasn't a statement of arrogance. It wasn't a statement of belligerence, but it was an informed conviction that the future resides on the inside of him. The future is packaged. There's something packaged. God packaged something new and is waiting for its release. You can script your future to a degree. I'm not saying you are God. I'm not saying you are omniscient. God is the only one who has those essential attributes of divinity. But I'm saying that there's a part that you can put into operation, into motion, that will help you shape a future that you want. I know that during this time, during the end of the year, you know, we get the usual quaint, nice bullet points, and some of them are in my book, you know, forget about the past and black. We'll talk about, they are all nice. They are all nice. Write New Year's resolutions, set goals. They are all very nice. They are great. But I want to step off a little off the beaten path today and help you and I to lock into some of the little and sometimes ignored ones, or the ones we hear but we don't get a lot of detail and we tend to overlook. Because I want to awaken the sleeping giant on the inside of you. There is a giant, my friend. There is a giant. I want to wake up the lion. I want you to get angry. I want you to determine that enough is enough. And that I'm getting into a better year. And by the way, don't let timepieces and calendars inform your whole life. Because a lot of people I know are going to, I say they are, yes. I'm not saying they may. They are going to get depressed because the calendar changed and nothing changed. And not whoever told you that God is bogged down with your calendar? That's a human invention. God gives you a word and it doesn't put your timepiece or your Gregorian calendar on it. No. So whatever word he gave to you in 2002, it could be that its manifestation is waiting for you in 2024. I've shared here before that there's something that I waited on God for 22 years of my life to find the manifestation. I confessed it. I sowed seeds. I prayed. I jumped around the building. I ran. I sweated. I tapped cartwheels. I'm just kidding. But you got to. And what I want to see is that I have picked up a few forces. Forces. A force is something that brings action. A force, not inertia. A force that will help you shape your future. It's going to help you. But before then, let me start with a clarion call that Isaiah the prophet gave to Israel, and for that matter to all of us. God's word is timeless, it's eternal, it works anyway. The reason why, because as I was preparing this the other day, I felt that there are people listening to me today. You are listening to me, my fellow ambassador, my fellow Hopian. Listen, many people are stuck in their old mistakes. Many people are held captive by unrealized aspirations. People are disappointed by the long, unending struggle. You are battle weary, you are tired, and you have given up. You don't want to hear anything again. Listen, you can come to a place. I remember a prophet called Elijah, a man who called fire from heaven and brought revival back to Israel. A woman painted her face and threatened to take his life. And Elijah, God's prophet of faith and power, calling fire from heaven, locking the windows of heaven and putting the keys in his pocket for 3 years. He took off and went and sat in a cave and begged God to kill him. Of course, he didn't mean his prayers, because if he really wanted to die, he would have stayed for Jezebel to do a number on him. And thank God for the prayers that God doesn't answer. But listen, the prophet himself, Elijah, he stayed in a cave. He had struggled. He was tired. He was battle weary, and he wouldn't go for it. And God came and said, "Why are you sitting in the cave, champion? Life championship does not belong to cave dwellers. Come out." And for somebody, I'm telling you, don't let the struggle keep you in a cave. Don't be bogged down. Don't sit there. Get up. Do something in the name of the Lord. In the name of everything that is holy, get up and shake yourself and determine that as we go forward, you're going to do something. So this is what I'm going to say to you in Isaiah chapter 43. And this is just an introduction before I go to the first force that you need to shape your future. But Isaiah chapter 43, verse 18 and 19, we're going to look at it from the Message translation, then the NIV. Isaiah chapter 43, Isaiah the prophet, he says that forget about what has happened. Now, when the Bible talks about forget, it's not like you are obliterating the thing out of your mind. But it's saying that don't let the thing control you. Don't let the thing hold you down. He says that forget about what happened. Don't keep going over old history. Don't keep going over old history. Be alert, be present. I'm about to do something brand new. It's bursting out. Don't you see it? Listen, you could be winning. It may look like you're losing, but you are winning. Let's go ahead. The next verse says, there it is. I'm making a road through the desert, rivers in the badlands. The New International Version, NIV, says something. I really love it. It says, forget the former things, the good, the bad, the ugly, the in-between, let it rest. Because you can be bogged down and life will pass you by admiring the past or crying over the past. But I like the next phrase. It says, do not dwell on the past. Can I tell somebody, may I tell somebody today, don't dwell on the past mistakes. Don't dwell on the past guilt. Don't dwell on the past failures. Don't dwell on the past harsh words that somebody spoke over you. Don't dwell on the past things that didn't go right for you. Don't dwell on it. And there are 3 things that stand out. Let's finish it. Let's finish it. It says that, see, I'm doing a new thing. Do you realize that God didn't qualify what the new thing is? If you qualified it, new thing, new car, new thing, new clothing, then other people who don't need those things at this moment will be disqualified. So which means whatever your new thing is, put it there. He says that it's going to spring forth. Do you not perceive it? And I'll make a way. That is an impossibility. A way in the wilderness. Streams in the wasteland, you and I know it's a near impossibility. But God says, I'll do the impossible for you. There are 3 things that stand out that I want to give to you in this passage. Number 1, he says, do not remember. Do not remember. Don't dwell on the past. The past is gone forever. Hear me, my friend. Israel at that time was in an extreme stress of despondency. And God was saying to them, don't permit your past ills, your stress, your disappointments, and all of these things in between to hold your thoughts captive. I hope you are listening to me today, my friend. Don't dwell in the past. Let me put something out there for you about the past. Listen, there is absolutely, 100%, absolutely no promise in the past. All your promises are present and future. The past holds no promise. The past holds no promise. It's gone. It's gone. Yesterday, when the day turned into night and night turned, it was gone. So please, whatever it is, in 2023, that gave you pain, that gave you shame, that gave you disappointment. Listen, as we wind down the year and enter into another year, can you just not let it hold your thoughts down? Do not remember. You see, your thoughts are so powerful. They can hold you captive. They can steer your life. And so don't let it. Listen, forgive to the extent that you may even remember what they did to you, but it doesn't grieve you anymore. That is the essence of freedom. And number two, he said, I will do a new thing. Doing a new thing. I will do a new thing. God says that I'm going to do it. Whatever you have accomplished, God says it is not enough. I will do a new thing. Your little ideas, your little successes, and celebrate them, but don't let them hold you down. God says that I will do things that you have never imagined will happen in life. That is what he said. I'll make a way in the wilderness. I'll make rivers in the desert. Ordinarily, these things don't happen, but God will let it happen to you. Things that are going to happen to you, you are going to say that things like this don't happen to people like us. God says he said something to my heart. Let me tell you. He says, I'll even do some old things in some brand new ways in your life. Some old things in some brand new ways in your life. Never forget that. And then the third thing in there, he said it will spring forth. I like that. It will spring forth. Your eyes will see it. It means your harvest will come. My friend, no matter what it is, you can't force the harvest, but the harvest will come. Have you seen I'm sure you may have planted something before, or you have seen something being planted. What does it do? It sprouts, but it doesn't sprout overnight. In fact, in the Bible, the only tree that grew overnight died overnight. You know who I'm talking about? Jonah's tree. It grew overnight, it died overnight. Life is a process. It appears letter by letter. Have you seen skyscrapers, buildings that are being built? They don't come pre-assembled. They come and in 2 days, they have assembled the sky. It does not happen that way, my friend. No harvest comes already pre-packaged. There's a process to life. You know, the farmer will plant. He will water the plant. Then before the reaping, in between the planting and the reaping, there's a middle of patience. And as they watch, the thing will sprout. It begins to sprout, the germination. It will sprout out of the ground, break the soil, then come out. And then the blade will come out. Then the leaf will come out. Then the whole thing will come out. Then it's ready to harvest. That should be your starting point right now. Don't dwell on the past. Don't let the old hold you back. Don't let the name calling shape you. It's going to be a brand new year and it's going to be a very good year. Now let's turn to our main deal today. Shaping your future. I'm going to consider a few forces, about 3 or 4, that is going to help you shape your future. And in this episode, we are going to look at the force of vision. There's a force called vision. Now, I didn't say visions. I said vision. And in this matter, I'm not talking about closing your eyes and seeing things. I remember sometime a couple of dear ladies came to see me and they sat in front of me in my office. That was in London, so that was many millennia ago. And they kept looking at me and I looked at them like, yeah, what is your business here? He said, we want to see whether you see visions. And I said, I see movies. I see movies. You know, you can't turn it on and off just like that. No, not at all. I'm talking about vision. There's a force that can shape your future. And that force is called vision. I want to put a definition out there. What is vision? Vision is a picture that you have on the inside of you of a preferred future. Your vision is a picture of a preferred future. In the literal Hebrew, it is a prophetic revelation. It's a prophetic revelation. It is an unveiling of something that is always there, but you haven't seen it yet. Oh, I like this. I like this. I hope you are learning. It's an unveiling of something that is already there, but you haven't seen it yet. That is vision. It's something other people can't see, but it lives on the inside of you. It irritates you. And I'll talk a lot about that. In fact, do you realize that vision is so powerful and vision is so important that the Word of God says that without vision, the consequences are not good. Where there's no vision, the consequences are not good. Proverbs chapter 29, verse number 18. We're going to look at it from the New King James, but the Old King James says that where there's no vision, people perish. That is pretty harsh. That is pretty strong. But Proverbs 29 and 18, it says that where there's no revelation, that is vision, prophetic revelation, and I'm going to just unpack this. People cast off restraint, but happy is he who keeps the law. The Old King James says that where there's no vision, the people perish. Now, you and I know the classical meaning of perish. Perish means to die, to be obliterated, to be quenched, whatever, to be incinerated. But it means more than that. If you look at, let's go back to yes, where there's no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is. Where there's no vision, the people perish. But let's go back to the New King James or NIV, anyone, whatever. And let's look at something there. Let's look at it. It says that where there's no revelation, the people cast off restraint. When you have no vision, number one, you cast off restraint. What is restraint? Restraint is a self-discipline that holds you back, that holds you in check. If you don't have vision, you lack discipline, you lack restraint. When you don't have vision, nothing holds you back. Anything goes. You do whatever you like. Hear me. Something must restrain you, and that must be the force of vision. I want to help you. The higher you go, the greater you go, the less things you must concern yourself with. For the Facebook assassins, so social media people who can't rest their fingers one day, that every day you must say something, every day you must do something. Listen, there are times that can you just keep quiet and let your vision speak and drive you. Some of you talk too much. Talk too much. You revel in the fact that I put something there and let people fight over it and I'm enjoying it. You always have comedians to do that. For serious-minded people who want to win and not regret at the end of the day, hear me, have restraint. The fact that you can say it doesn't mean you have to say it. There are people, when people press your buttons a little bit, the words that come out of your mouth have not been even written in the dictionary. Restraint. Restraint. Restraint is a discipline. Restraint. And I'll show you what lack of restraint does. It also means you dwell carelessly, you run wild. When there's no vision, you dwell careless, you are careless. And for many of you, if you look into your life, you realize that most of your issues can go down. The root is carelessness. You were too careless in your relationships. You are too careless in stewarding the gifts God gave to you. You are too careless in the use of your time. You are too careless in the things that you put out there in public. You are too careless in the way you spent your money. You are too careless in the way you allotted your time. You are too careless. It also means you become a spectacle. When you don't have restraint, you become a spectacle. That is a negative spectacle. And I'll show you something in a minute. People look at you, you become the person that parents use you as an example to show their children how not to live their lives. I remember growing up, every place there are drunkards, and I remember there's this guy, he gets to the place, any money he gets, he shoots straight to the bar to go and drink. And he says that I'll drink until this drink, takes a photo of me, and he says that I'll drink for people to use me to tell their children not to drink. What an example. I wish I could say that in another language. But at least you become a spectacle. When you have no vision, you cast off restraint and become a spectacle. It means you become a laughing stock. You become a proverb and a byword. Drunkards use your life as a song because you have no restraint. I want to show you something. During the episode of the golden calf, Pastor Moses went up the mountain for a little while to commune with God to take the law and bring back. And then the congregation, the church of the first church of the desert rebelled. They got a new associate, Pastor Joshua, and said, do us a golden calf, whatever happened. And then Moses, I beg your pardon, not Joshua, Aaron. They came back and Aaron did the golden calf for them. And all these things that were happening. Let me show you something in Exodus chapter 32, verse 25. Look at it carefully. This is no joke. Now when Moses saw that the people were unrestrained, remember, where there's no vision, the people cast off restraint. They were unrestrained. For Aaron had not restrained them to the shame among their enemies. When there's no restraint, You become a laughing stock. These are people that have come out of Egypt. God has brought them out. Pillar of cloud by day, pillar of fire by night. Opened the Red Sea, visited 10 plagues on Egypt, brought Egypt to its knees. The economy was gone. Their reputation had gone ahead of them. And now look at them. They were reveling. They were in orgies. They were in shame, nakedness. When you don't have a vision, this is your picture. No restraint. Hear me. If you don't have the force of vision working on the inside of you, you will spend most of your life sitting in a couch watching TikTok. You will spend the majority of your time playing Angry Birds. You will spend all your life Facebooking. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's a tool, not a weapon. But listen, learn to apportion times for something. Vision, my friend, vision, the force of vision. Coming this year, and I'm going to help you with this. I'm not going to rush with this vision thing. I really want to help you because your plans are going to come out of your vision. Because if you don't have a vision to be an Olympic athlete who will win the gold medal in the next Olympics, you don't have a plan to wake up early in the morning to run around the tracks. So your plans will come out of your vision. If you don't have a vision to be a top-class musician because you can't sing, your plans will not include voice training. Never forget that. I don't have a plan to play in the European Champions League in the soccer. So I don't wake up with a plan. I don't have a vision to play. And so I don't wake up with a plan to go and train with a soccer ball. No, I've gone past that. I used to be a child. I won about 17 gold medals. I'm just kidding. But understand that your plans are going to come out of your vision. And then out of the plans, you make your goals. Your plan is coming out of that force of vision. And then out of the plan, you make your goals until you get there. We'll get there. I want to help you. Listen, if you want a quick thing and you say, I receive it, and put your hand on your head, please go find another teacher. I really want to help you. I want to meet you one day, and when I ask you, how are you? I don't want any long talk. Just tell me, Ambassador of Hope, thank you for putting me on the right path. That's all. That's the reason why I sit here. That's the reason why I spend my time. I don't charge you. I don't do anything. I just want you to be better. That's all. I'm not desperately in love with the camera. I'm not in love with you looking at my face. I'm a shy man by nature. What I'm madly in love in is with your success. I want you to be successful. So why is vision such a force? Why is vision such a force? I thought about it long and hard, and I realized that the great example of men and women in the Bible, and also people in contemporary lives, they made it and they did amazing things because they were visionaries. And I'll give you a couple of examples. 2 in the Bible, 2 in contemporary history. Listen, the first person was Abraham. Abraham was a visionary extraordinary. Abraham saw something. When he heard a voice to leave his land to go to another land, Abraham had no reference point. Nobody had done it before. Nobody had even said that, listen, you can hear God and obey and go. There was no Bible, nothing. He was a heathen. Abraham was a heathenistic business person living at the other side of the Euphrates. He said, Joshua said, your father Abraham, he lived at the other side. But he obeyed. He was willing to leave familiar territory. He was willing to leave his comfort zone. Why? Because he saw a vision. And that vision drove him. So that through faith, he went into the unknown. Consider Hebrews chapter 11, verse 8 to 10. Look at Abraham, our father of faith. We talk a lot about his faith, but it was his vision. By faith, Abraham obeyed. When he was called out to go to the place for which he will receive as an inheritance, God told him. He hadn't seen it, but he obeyed. And he went out not knowing where he was going. The force of vision, you see, you may not know, but something drives you. That is what works in tandem with faith. The vision will drive you. By faith, he lived in the land of promise, as in a foreign country. Yesterday, I posted something that Abraham was willing to live in tents so that his genealogy will possess cities. This is what informed me when I was preparing that. You must be willing to let go of something so that the future generations will enjoy. That's another matter for another day. But he dwelt in the land of promise as in a foreign country, dwelling in tents with Isaac and Jacob, heirs with him of the same promise. Now look at this. Look at the next verse. For he waited for the city. He looked forward to a city which had foundations, which builder and maker is God. Abraham saw a city, even though he was living in tents. That is a vision. That is a vision, my friend. That is a vision. You see the thing before you see it. You see it before you see it. The next biblical character is Moses, the man of God, that great leader who led so many millions of people out of Egyptian captivity. Moses was born. You know the circumstances of his birth. He brought down the establishment that wanted to kill him. He saw something that was greater than the palace. He was in the palace. He was being raised in the palace. He was being groomed to become a pharaoh in the future with all the pomp and the pageantry and the power. He built storehouses of Pithom and Ramses. He was powerful. He was the prince of Egypt. But there was a vision that was burning on the inside of Moses that drove him to make hard choices. He was willing to leave the luxury of Egyptian palace to join the penury of Israeli slaves. Let's continue on Hebrews 11, 24 to 27. By faith, Moses, when he became of age, he refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. Vision will let you refuse some things, my friend. And vision will let you choose some things. He chose rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the passing pleasures of sin. Sin is passing pleasure. He esteemed the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures of Egypt. Look at that. For he looked to the reward. He looked to the reward. Vision, he saw something. He saw a reward. By faith, he left Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Vision. Moses saw the invisible. That is vision, my friend. What is it that your eyes see? When you close your eyes, it's burning. You can't even sometimes articulate it in words. You can't even describe it to people because they won't get, they think you are crazy. That is the force of vision. This coming year, I'll now show how to get a vision for your life. Vision for your business, vision for your career, vision for your ministry, vision for your relationship. There must be, I want to make you a man or woman of vision. You don't just joke around, because let me tell you something. You are not getting any younger. One of your greatest enemy is the clock on the wall. Because at every tick of the second hand, you are getting closer to your grave. Never forget that. Before you know, you've crossed some thresholds that there's no going back. Never forget that. You can lose money and gain money. You can lose houses and gain more houses. But when you lose time, it's gone forever. Never forget that. A man worked for the Kansas City Star newspaper. He was a cartoonist. But according to the Kansas City Star, the man had to be fired. Reason? He had no imagination. He had no creativity. Does it sound like how people have treated you before? They just looked at you today and thought, what good can come out of you? You lack this, you lack that, you are fledgling. So you know people always want immediate things. People want to get into marriage, they want a ready-made man. They want a ready-made things. So they look at the man, they look at his small waist, they say, I can't marry you, your waist is too small. Marry him and feed him. Every small elephant will grow. But listen, on a serious note, some of you may be treated like that. Prove them wrong. They said, this man, I'll mention his name and you're going to say, oh. He said he lacked creativity, he lacked imagination. This man made his way back to California as a fired and unemployed man. He went about telling his friends about a vision that is on the inside of him. And you know what the vision is about? A mouse. I'm talking about Walt Disney, the founder of the famous Disney World and Disneyland. I think the one in California, the Disneyland is defunct. I don't think. That's the first Disney I went to when I was in grad school in California. But listen, a mouse that today almost every child in America or the world is in love with. Mickey. People spend hours and top dollar to go to Orlando, Florida, just to go and worship that mouse. Walt Disney, he was telling his friends, they thought he was crazy. But you know something? He connected his backside to his seat every day. If you're going to break through, and that is your thing, connect your backside to your chair until you are done. You get. I hope you get it. Hear me. He sat at his desk every day tinkering with the mouse, drawing the mouse, one way or other. Today, everybody has had an encounter with the mouse, Mickey Mouse, that Walt Disney had a vision about. Listen to me, somebody. People may have tried to shoot down your vision. They've denigrated your dream. They've looked down on your idea. You were going to law school, they laughed at you. You were taking the GRE, they laugh at you. The GMAT, they laugh at you. You even wanted to do the GED, and they said you are too old. You are 31 years old. You are too old. What are you going to do? And on and on. Listen, don't submit to naysayers. The dream will never die. The dream lives. The vision lives. It will shape your future. One mouse, a vision that the man refused to let them shoot down, became something that the whole world, and today is a billion-dollar industry, employing billions of people. It's in Paris, it's in Orlando, it's in Los Angeles, it's everywhere. Listen, keep talking about talk to yourself. Talk about your mouse, even when people think you are crazy. A man went to Yale University, one of the Ivy Leagues, Yale University, and he wrote a term paper. It was his vision that in this huge America, from sea to shining sea, there's a possibility that businesses will be able to ship their packages and it will get to their destination overnight. They can ship it on the West Coast, and by the next morning, it is in the East Coast. And when he presented the paper, the professor gave him a C, because the professor said the idea was not feasible because America was too large. About some 3,500 miles from each, it wouldn't. I'm talking about Fred Smith. He graduated Yale, went back to Memphis, Tennessee, and started that vision. And today, it is FedEx, Federal Express. Vision, my friend, vision. Vision will shape your future. I know you pray hard. I know you'll be going to all your prayer meetings. Please go. I'll not hold you back. But when you come back from the heavens and you live here, in the place that God has permitted us to spend some of our life here, there are factors that you need. And this is one that I'm giving to you, vision. And I'm going to give you 5 things that vision will do to shape your life. 5 things that vision will do. So write them down and I'm going to go through. I may not go through everything, but I'm going to give you the 5 things. Let's see what everybody is saying here. Yes. Yes, I like that. Pastor David, God bless you. Love you to the moon and back. Wow, look at that. Minister Felicia, God bless. Pastor Eric, I hope you're doing well. Yes, your plans will come out of your vision, and out of that, you make your goals. Dr. Mary, so good to see you here today. God bless you. Love you to the moon and back. Godfrey Amwesi, the Ezekiel guy. Eva, how are you doing? Yes, they are very thought-provoking, and they... Vicky, I hope you are doing better. You are getting better. You are getting better. My man of God, God bless you, man of God, all the way from the Gascoigne School. God bless. Presidis, God bless you so much. Listen, let's get into that. But let me give you 5 things that your vision will do to help shape your... Number 1, your vision will create focus. Vision creates focus. You see, when I talk about focus, it is not only what you set your eyes on, but it's also what you refuse to look at. Who, for the joy that was set before him, he endured. So vision enables you to know what to say yes to and no to. Hear me, my friend. When you have vision, you don't accept every invitation. You heard me. And I am going to repeat it slowly. I said, when you have a vision, you don't accept every invitation. Never forget that. Because not everywhere that you're invited to is important. Preacher, listen. Not everywhere. Not every pulpit. Don't be desperate. Have a vision. Don't eat your lunch at breakfast time. Don't eat your dinner at breakfast time. Restraint. Hold yourself. Learn to say no. Have some dignity. When you have vision, you don't attend every party. I know I'm troubling you, do I not? When you have vision, you don't eat at every place. There's some you eat everywhere. Everywhere you are. So long as there's food, you are there. You know, you like seafood. When you see it, you eat it. Everywhere. No, listen to me. Hear me, my friend. Learn what to say no to. There are things you... Listen, your breakthrough in life is not only connected to your yeses, but a lot of time to your no's. No. No. It's a complete sentence. There will be good opportunities that may never be God's appointment for you. There may be good opportunities that may never be God's appointment for you. The fact that it's a door doesn't mean you have to enter. It could be a trap door. Never forget that. And by the way, just because you can do something does not mean you have been assigned to do it. Especially for those who are gifted. The fact that you can do it does not mean that is your assignment. There's a difference between opportunity and assignment. When you have a vision, the vision will create a focus. Looking unto Jesus, who for the joy that was set before him, number one, he endured the cross. And number two, he despised the shame. Which means he looked at the cross and he refused to look at the shame that was going to put him down. Do you see that? So he said yes to the cross and no to the shame. Listen, every visionary listening to me today, there may be times in your life that you have to learn to despise your shame. There's all kinds of shames. There's personal shame, there's corporate shame, there's shame by association, there's shame by tribe, there's shame by continent. Learn to despise that. There's a time they'll laugh at you that you have only one pair of shoes. Despise it. Because you have a vision. You don't have to spend like there's no tomorrow or like currencies are going out of style. Vision will help you to create focus. Number two, and maybe I'll do this one and I'll go on. I'll just stop because I want you to go and chew over it. Number two, the force of you know what it will do? It attracts provision. Vision attracts provision. Do you see the word? Do you see the word? Provision. Provision. Pro is for vision. So when you have a vision, it will attract the resources that God puts in your hand. When you don't have a vision, listen, stop begging God for the resources because you waste it. I want to tell somebody today, I had to talk to somebody and encourage somebody. And maybe for a man of God, woman of God, whatever, you are in a place, a quandary, you are going through a rock and a hard place. Listen, don't give up. God will put resources in you because if that vision is from him, the provision will be there. If that vision is from him, the provision will be there. Never forget that. You will not go down if you are walking. I'm tempted to let me hold fire. I wanted to say some things, but it's okay. You know, when COVID, never mind. Listen, I realize that sometimes when there's no provision and the brook is dry, it could be that God is protecting you from making some mistakes. That's for another time. But ladies and gentlemen, if you have no vision, provision will mean nothing for your life. That is why people with no vision, they waste resources. Fathers, mothers, grandfathers can sometimes best their backs and build great businesses, die and leave it in the hands of their successors. And because those people never went through anything and never have any vision for that thing, they waste everything. Hear me. I want to help you. Maybe next week, I want to help get a vision for the ownership of your home. Start from somewhere. Buy a land. Listen, today, one thing that God is not creating anymore is land. God is not creating land anymore. So any piece of land that you can get, listen, you have started life. I'm talking to those in Africa. I'm talking anywhere. Even if it's just do a little thing. If it's out of town, do it. I was talking to a friend of mine, a pastor of mine, and we were sharing about a particular land that somebody wanted to sell to me so many years back. I said, no, I don't want it. That's too far. Today, I drive past the place and the buildings I see, that's in Ghana. It's like, whoa. I feel ashamed of myself because I didn't get the vision. I didn't get the vision. Hear me. I want you to have a vision of the ownership of your business. Ownership gives you another realm of authority. Remember that God revealed himself to Abraham on Mount Moriah as Jehovah Jireh, Yahweh Yireh. What does it mean? The one who sees in advance and provides for it. The ram that Abraham needed was already there, and God provided it because he saw him. Listen, everything that you are going to need in 2024, God in his omniscience has already provided it. When you get that vision and you move towards the vision, he will bring it to come to pass. Has it helped you today? I want to stop. I don't want to overload you with information. But listen to me, my friend. Let the past go. And let's set ourselves on a brand new path. And I'm going to give you forces, maybe 4, 5 or 6 forces that will shape your future. You talk about them, you look at them, but maybe you haven't really looked at them. I hope it's been a blessing. Before I go, listen. There's a little book that I wrote in about a week. New Year, New You. I'm strongly recommending it to you. I was telling my staff here that they forgot to remind me about the book club, the monthly book thing. And you didn't remind me to because you are not reading. Listen, the world's readers are the world's leaders. Don't go off. I'll go in a minute. I want to pray for you before I go. The world's readers are the world's leaders. The one who will not read is worse than the one who cannot read. I'm telling you, books, people who break through in life, they read. This generation is allergic to reading. If you want to stand out, read. Read, my friend, read. Stimulate your mind. And in this, it's very easy, straightforward, and I have notes, workbooks and things in there for you very quickly, chapter notes and things, or a lot of things that I'm going to, how to set goals for your life. You know, they are all in here. Go to advancedlife.org, go to the bookstore, and then order it, and it will be sent to you. I want to give it out to somebody, I don't know. But listen to me. There's a force that can shape your future. Whatever it is, let that force move you on. Vision. We'll talk about that. Father, in the name of your Son, Jesus, I pray. For everyone that has listened to me today, expand the revelation in their spirits. Let them become men and women of vision. Let the force of vision begin to propel them on the right path to a successful 2024. I thank you in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. All that remains for me to say is God bless you. Don't forget the Emerging Leaders class, the mentoring class, and also don't forget, remember, register now on Advanced Life app. It's right there. Don't forget our logo. We are starting in January, I think January 5th or January 8th or something. We're starting in there. It's going to be a blast. Have a good evening. I love you. And the Senior Pastors Leadership Masterclass, please do that. Register. You need it. You need it for the years ahead. Leadership is brutal. Let's do it. God bless you. I love you. Bye-bye.